You know that you're a great home cook when you can just open up your pantry or fridge, you see all of the things in there, and you already know 4 or 5 different recipes that you can cook based solely on the ingredients that you see. You don't need to look up the recipe, you just know those two things together would work really well in this recipe. Let's build it, let's make it. Or you don't write down a grocery list of things to pick up because what you cook during the week doesn't depend on the recipes that you've looked up and the ingredients that you need to go buy for those recipes. Rather, what you cook during the week depends on what is on sale at the market. So you go to the grocery store, you see that pork is on sale and chili peppers are on sale and garlic, so you decide to make pork vindaloo or bulgogi or some pork chops with garlic confit on bread, whatever it may be. But the point is that it is what is on sale at the store that determines what you end up cooking for the week, not the other way around. And one other thing I think is when you are making a dish and you taste it and it doesn't quite taste right, or sometimes it just tastes bad, or it tastes bland, or it tastes too spicy, or it tastes like it's missing something. This happens to all of us. I think what separates great home cooks from average ones is great home cooks know intuitively what it is that needs to be added or taken away to either counteract or complement the issue in the dish that you have prepared. I learned how to be a great home cook by watching too many videos of how to cook things. I've watched maybe 20 times the number of videos on cooking with recipes that I'll never cook in my life. But watching so many of those videos taught me how to move in a kitchen, how to handle things, how to prepare things, how to keep things clean, all of that. In particular, watching Gordon Ramsay taught me that. I think I learned a lot just by watching him and his energy and the way that he moved through spaces. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that it was my parents who gave me the opportunity to really learn and get better at cooking. When I was younger, they let me experiment with the stuff in the kitchen, and I think most of it was pretty bad. I remember wanting to make pizza. I was reading off of this recipe book that I had for kids, and the recipe for pizza dough did not have yeast in it. It called for baking powder or baking soda. And I made like 6 or 7 of them, hoping that the next one would be eatable or just, something nice, but they were all terrible. And I would add ketchup as the tomato sauce because I didn't know that you had to buy a separate kind of tomato sauce. I tried using ketchup, I tried using raw tomato paste, and it just wouldn't work. And I was so frustrated with that. But every time I made these terrible pizzas, my mom would say, "Oh, we'll eat it with tea," and then she would dunk it in her tea and eat it along with my dad. And it was so terrible, but they didn't want to waste anything, which is fair. But they also didn't tell me to stop, which matters quite a bit. And I think that if they hadn't let me experiment, I would not have become as versatile in the kitchen as I am today, because I understand the nature of the ingredients that I use, how they can go wrong, and what is missing from them. And the first time I learned that yeast existed and that tomato sauce existed that you can add to a pizza, it really blew my mind. So if you're a parent and you want your kids to be good home cooks, I would suggest letting them experiment as much as possible, as much as your budget allows, and see what happens. Because sometimes you can be so passionate about something that you just keep going down and down and down this rabbit hole. And it's only when you come out on the other side that you realize that the skills that you have are quite rare, and many other people don't know how to cook an egg or navigate in a kitchen or make sure things don't get burnt, or all of these things that I now take for granted. So it's a good idea to let your kids experiment, and I'm grateful for my parents for letting me experiment and for teaching me what they knew. And I'm grateful to Gordon Ramsay and YouTube and all of the cooking videos that are out there that I probably will never all make, for teaching me how to bring things together. One thing I will say that pushed me over the edge, that made me a great cook from just a simple good cook, was reading Salt, Fat, Acid, and Heat by, I can't remember her name, but I think her parents are from Iran and she is American. But she wrote this excellent book on why things taste good, and I would highly recommend that you read through it. It's pretty thick, but it is an amazing book when you are a good cook and you want to become a great cook. The idea behind the book is that good things taste good because of salt, fat, acid, and heat. If something doesn't taste good, you can often fix it by either adding salt, fat, acid, or heat. And I deeply appreciate what she did for me and my understanding of food by writing that book. Yep. Thanks for watching. Leave a comment if this brought up any memories that you have of learning to cook.